for people maybe watching this for the first time, could you introduce yourself to our listeners and watchers and let us know what you do?
Yes, of course. So I'm Melissa Warwick. I'm the operations manager here at A-Star. Absolutely passionate about improving attendance throughout the country. So my, as you say, my decade of experience has been based within the northeast of England, where I was a senior leader within a secondary school and also have experience in an all-through academy as well. Very much around driving attendance improvement, pastoral care and inclusion have always been my specialities within school and where my passion lies. So it's great to be able to take that and kind of project that across the country now, working with schools who just need that little bit of insight and that little bit of support to manage their school attendance.
Great. And what obviously in my life as a blogger, looking at lots of different products, what I particularly like about you and A-Star is you've lived both sides of the table. So you know what people's pressures are. And obviously this product works for people. So I guess my first question is, what was the key decisions behind A-Star attendance coming to fruition? And maybe we'll get your kind of website on the screen for people to see what it looks like. And we'll talk about how it works differently from maybe a standard MIS register.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you say there, Ross, it's designed and the system has been created by staff that have used and have managed attendance within schools. So our director, Jill, was a local authority attendance officer, and she started working within schools and noticed the amount of time that it takes to monitor and manage and track attendance. And she came up with the idea that there could be an automation behind this. And Jill reached out to me when I was working in the All Through Academy to trial the system for her. So I was one of the early adopters, and it just completely changed how I managed attendance within school. It was monitoring and tracking students for me and making suggestions like an avatar attendance officer that I then had the time to be able to spend with my students and with my families to really drive attendance improvement.
Could you explain to people watching, Melissa, what's on the screen currently? So this looks like we've logged in. What's immediately on this homepage?
So this is the main homepage as you log on A-Star. So we've got headline key figures that every staff should know who's working in attendance and throughout the school, really. You can switch your statutory age straight on and off there. We've then got the attendance threshold and the welfare visit threshold. So not only is A-Star managing attendance, it's also doing welfare. So it's looking for certain percentages and codes within schools' MIS system, and then it's acting like the avatar attendance officer, making suggestions that you may want to send letters, you may want to do visits to these students, both for attendance and also for welfare on here.
Now, could we work through some of the tabs at the top, Melissa, please, just to show people what's there? So what would if we were logging in and maybe training staff for the first time, what would be the key things that you would show them as its features?
So firstly, I would show you the student tiles. So everyone within your school would have their own attendance record here. You've got the names of the students, obviously your key information, and the attendance procedures that they're currently on. You've then got filters. So if you've got staff looking after certain year groups, key groups, etc., they can look for students. So just to show you an example of what a student file looks like here. Everything that you do on A-Star will automatically update on this student file. So every time you generate letters, do welfare visits, all of those will automatically update onto here. You can add attachment or notes, you can set student stages, you can view attendance, so you're not having to flick between A-Star and your MIS system. You've got your bank of student letters, so every time you automatically generate a letter, which I will show you how you can do that, it will automatically save onto this file as well. So you've got all of the information stored in one place. You've then got an overview of the student report and the student attendance. So this shows you your year-to-date attendance by each week, so you can notice patterns, fluctuations in attendance. These are great for parental meetings, for one-to-ones with students. But what they also are, they're your basis for referrals to local authorities should you need to take it to that stage as well. So because all of your information is held within one place, you've got everything at the click of a button, which you can just press print and send that off to the local authority. So it just streamlines all of your processes, so you're not looking for different systems for different information.
Now, Melissa, I've got a quick question. I'm going to interrupt. I was at the Department for Education last night, and lots of multi-academy trust leaders were in the room. So my first burning question to you, can this work across multiple schools across the trust?
Absolutely, it certainly does. So we've got many trusts that use our system.
Right, okay.
Different schools can obviously access their system, and we are looking to create a multi-academy dashboard as well. So you will be able to get that information through there.
So what else do we have at the top here that you would signpost us to?
So you've got your stage tiles. So every evening, A-Star is reviewing the information in your MIS, and then it's making suggestions to you based on certain attendances and certain codes. So if you click in, unlike other systems, unlike your MIS, you're not having to go looking for any students. A-Star presents those students to you. So it's like having an assistant, and we'd all love an assistant at the end of the day. So it's looking for those codes, those percentages, and presenting that you may wish to take action. Obviously, that is based on the information held within the MIS, and then it is completely up to you and to school staff as to whether it's appropriate to take that action or not, because we know that obviously attendance percentages only tell part of the story, and there's always a story behind the absence, and sometimes it's not appropriate to send letters. So this is where staff insight comes in.
My next question was going to be safeguarding leads and things like that. So this is going to tell me what I need to do rather than me have to go fishing for it. That's right.
Absolutely, that's correct. Yeah, it certainly does. In terms of your safeguarding, you can be looking in your reports. You can look when you're looking in your comparisons. For instance, you've got all your headline figures, you've got your year group attendance data, your key groups. So if you were looking and you were responsible for a certain cohort of students within schools, you can look into your reports and you can look just specifically at them cohorts. So say, for instance, you were looking at your students that were pupil premium. You could click into your pupil premium and it will change them graphs specifically for those students.
Got you. So can I give you a quick live scenario? You tell me if it's worth pursuing or not, if I've just made it up. Could I look at perhaps a group of Year 8 students that are in that 5 to 15% attendance bracket? And I particularly want to look at the most vulnerable students, so whether they're looked after, pupil premium, those kind of things. What would we do? How would we find that?
So you would look for your year group here. So you've got your year groups down the side, and say we want to look specifically for our pupil premium students. So we're looking along Year 8 here. We're looking into pupil premium.
Click on this.
You would just click into here directly. This will take you through to your list of students that meet that criteria. You can then either filter for just between 80 to 95% attendance, or you can just sort it accordingly. What you can then do is just scroll down to those students and you've got your key cohorts there at the click of a button.
Brilliant. And obviously the student file, that's got past letters, potential flags, red flags, warnings, those kind of things?
Yeah, everything is on those student files, and you can access these via the system as well. So you would just click into student file and that will take you directly to the student file. So everything is linked up within A-Star. So you can access a student file from every single page on A-Star, whether you're in home visit reportings and your stage monitoring reports. What you can also do on the system is you can see the direct impact when you've sent a letter or when you've placed a student on a stage. So this graph here shows you the percentage of students that have improved their attendance since a stage was taken. So it can see here from year 10 students that 50% of those students have improved their attendance since I sent them a letter. You've also got that in key groups. If you click into here, it just shows you your key groups for year 10. And if you click into pupil premium, it just shows you your year groups for all pupil premium. Again, underneath, this is at the click of a button. You can access all of this information. You can see what students have improved at stage 3 or at any stage on there. You can see the actions by year group, the improved, not improved, escalated, the numbers and the percentages. And when you click into these, so say for instance, I want to look at my stage 3 that have improved. When I click in, it takes me to the filterized list on here. And say I want to send a letter to all of those students, congratulating them for the improvements. I've got my list of students here and I've got the exact percentages of how much they've improved by since I've sent them a letter. And that's really granular data that becomes really powerful when praising
I was just going to say, this is the, if I've got a parent meeting as a school leader, a form tutor, or head of year, just having this at a click of a button is going to be really powerful. What about Ofsted? I grind my teeth when I have to mention the word, but obviously it's important. We need students to be attending school. We have a duty of care and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
What kind of things would I pull out here, or what are the benefits of having this if we suddenly have an Ofsted inspection?
Yeah, I think the main benefits is you've got everything literally at the click of a button. So if you're preparing your year-to-date reports, your reporting features, they're all here, your year-to-date summaries. So you've got your PA, your essay literally at the click of a button for your cohorts as well. So I know historically I've taken so much time preparing all of these reports, when here you're not going to have to spend hours doing that. They're there for you. What you've also got on here is obviously when you come to do case studies, you've got all of your information in your student files as well. So preparing for these case studies, again, is very, very quick. You can just look at that student file and you can prepare those. Mm-hmm. When Ofsted start asking with regards to what historically we refer to as harder to reach families, within our home visit reports, we've got these completed with no contact visits. So you can really drill down in the A-Star system as to your successful visits, the visits where you might not have had contact, and the visits where you haven't had contact and students have returned to school.
Now, Melissa, can I ask a question here? So let's say a school's using a current very popular MIS system, and they might have this question: why do I need this? What's that response? What are the benefits of plugging this in and it's sucking that data from your MIS that maybe your MIS couldn't do?
I think what the beauty of A-Star is that it's bringing all of this data into one place for you. It's doing the manual, the hard lifting of looking through attendance, and it's making those suggestions for you. So staff aren't having to go looking for that information. It's presented. It reads obviously from your MIS, the percentages, the codes, but we know from working with schools how much this system can really drive attendance improvement. With your MIS, you sometimes having to then upload letters and things to different documents. This system does it all for you. So you're not having to do that legwork of having to record anything that you do. It's all there for you. So your suggestions are made. It's speeding up all of your time. Your reports are there at the click of a button with something that you can do with those reports as well. I think the pain point that I used to have, and that many staff have and that we work with, is that data is great and presenting that data is great, but what do we do next with it? And what A-Star is, because it's so intuitive, it tells you what to do next with that data or makes suggestions on what to do next.
Now, if another question. So let's say I've been tracking all the data, it's giving me everything I need, and I'm doing what I can, and I'm maybe now facing some difficult parents. How can I pull out, and I think you might have just kind of alluded to this earlier, how can I pull out all the data where I can show a parent all the past communication? Dare I say, if something escalates, I don't want to use the word exclusion, but where something might escalate and you need to provide that evidence. What would you go to a student file in this case?
You would go into the student file and all of that information is there. So everything is safe for you there. What you also get with A-Star though is support from the team, and every single person that works within A-Star has either managed attendance, many at senior levels within school, either within a school or within the local authority. So many of our schools use us for that support. They give us a call and they can chat to us around what they're experiencing, use of the system. But we've also got our CPD as well. So the system is only part of what we do, and it's a huge integral part of the business and what we do. But you've got to have that knowledge alongside it. And our team are very knowledgeable and very passionate about attendance improvement. And we've got our accredited CPD, but we also work with external professionals that have specialisms within certain areas, and they deliver CPD, and that is free for any school that is using the A-Star system as well.
Okay, and that's good. And you've also got a very special announcement on this live stream, haven't you?
We certainly do. We certainly do. So we have just today announced our partnership, our integration partnership with CPOMS, which I am absolutely delighted about. And I think going back, obviously, to my previous roles of looking after inclusion and attendance, it's all about joining up those dots, Ross. And I think what this integration is going to allow DSLs and attendance officers to do is to integrate and to join up those dots to make sure that every story and every absence is heard.
Sure. Now, I'm just conscious sometimes we get international viewers. So MIS is Management Information System.
It is,
DSL is Designated Safeguarding Lead. Could you clarify CPOMS for everybody for me?
Yes, so CPOMS is the UK's biggest platform for managing wellbeing and safeguarding concerns. So it is used by schools right throughout the country and beyond. CPOMS is bigger than just UK. So what this integration means is that when users are using the system, and what CPOMS found was there is benefits of both systems, and if these systems can join together, then it becomes really, really powerful and a really good management tool for schools to make sure that, as I say, that no absence slips through the net, that every dot is joined up.
So there you go, folks. You heard it first. A-Star partnering up with CPOMS. That's super exciting. So big things lie ahead.
They certainly do, Ross. They certainly do.
I can see lots of people watching this, but you're all super quiet. I can only imagine you're in the you're at the end of sports day. You're on your summer holidays on the beach already, or you're just running out of a bit of energy to leave comments and things. But just to help everyone, this QR code on the screen here, that'll take you to a landing page. Just leave your email and Melissa will be in touch with some more information. Demonstrations, Melissa?
Yeah, they can be booked on our website. So if you go on to astarattendance.com, you can book it straight into the diary and schedule a demonstration with ourselves and have a look at what the system can do, because it's certainly got to work for your school and it's got to be the appropriate system for your school. But we've had so much improvements throughout the country with attendance. We absolutely know it works.
That QR code, everyone, will take you to this page. You can see a past webinar I've had with Melissa and Ian on here is a school leader in the Northeast who uses the system. If you missed that, you can watch that. And then you just need to leave your email address on this page and request the demo, and then Melissa will be in touch. So is there anything we've not covered, Melissa?
I think that's in a nutshell, and that is certainly what we do. And yeah, if you want a discussion further around kind of how we can support your school on an individual basis, then certainly please do get in touch with us.
Okay, and obviously this is a partnership, so I should always declare that, but I've written the blog here. I only partnership with organizations that I know are going to make a big difference, who've got great reputation. So you can see what I've written here in the past. You've got the past webinars, live streams and things like that. So sign up, everybody. Lots to do. That's the QR code there. We're going to keep it short and sweet this evening. I can still see lots of you watching, but you're very shy in the comments tonight. But Melissa and I had only planned to have a quick chat for 25 minutes or so, just to kind of whet your appetite. I guess that last question, Melissa, thinking about, pastoral teams and how they can turn, attendance into meaningful actions and what it might do also for teacher workload. What would be your thoughts on that? What do you hear your school leaders that use your system say?
I think the main thing is this is going to absolutely reduce your workload in terms of the time taken that it takes to track and manage school attendance. For me, the biggest thing that staff need to be doing is to be out there supporting students and building up relationships with students and their families. And by having a system that will automate a lot of your or all of your attendance management, this is going to allow you to have that time to be able to do that support first, which we absolutely know drives attendance improvement and attendance management. So it's this ongoing kind of monitoring and tracking that is just going to free you up to be able to do the things that you do best, and that's working with our students.
No more, I'm trying to think, no more running around corridors after lunch, chasing your cover teachers and whoever else, get your registers done, and particularly having to get your office staff to spend days collecting attendance data, analysing it, and then coming back to the SLT meeting, maybe a week or 2 weeks later with some data, and then another week to produce letters. Safe to say those days are almost gone for everybody?
Absolutely. I mean, the letters, you can literally manage your letters within 10 minutes every day. They go directly to parents' emails. Yeah.
So there you go. So on that note, Melissa, stay on the line and I'll chat to you once we're off a live stream. But thank you so much for your time and your passion and expertise. Right, everybody. So there's the QR code, short and sweet this evening. Go to the landing page, leave your details, sign up. And what's not to like A-Star Attendance? It's a smarter way to manage your pupil attendance, automating admin, turning data into real-time action. It strengthens your safeguarding, it flags your vulnerable students, it tracks up all the kind of follow-ups, all those letters, and it gives you all that powerful data to hand at a click of a button in all those parental meetings that you have. The number one thing for me is it's going to reduce your workload significantly. So get in touch with Melissa and see, request a demo, no obligations, and just see if it's for you.